Hello all, if you are new, my name is Marin. Welcome to another reading vlog. This is going to be my second Unwrap It vlog of 2024. So if you missed the first one, I will link it up above in the cards. This is heavily inspired by Megan over at Meg with Books, who does a wrapped up series each year. This year she is working on unwrapping the oldest books on her TBR, but I am working on unwrapping my unread 2023 purchases. So again, check out that first video. It kind of goes over like the rules and lets you know how this is going to work. But basically, I am going to unwrap one of my 2023 purchases that I have not yet read. I have wrapped them up in 4 different colors. Today, I decided to focus on the ones that are wrapped in the blue with white polka dot paper because there are 4 of them. So this is what I'm going to be choosing from. And I'm just gonna pick one and I will read it in this vlog. So I was feeling around with these. So there are 3 paperbacks and 1 hardcover. I am actually going to go with the hardcover because it's a switch from the first 2, which were paperbacks. So let me unwrap it and we will see what it is I'm going to be reading in this vlog. Now I am unwrapping this before my wheel of TBR because to make it easier on myself, if possible, I'm gonna try to fit this onto the TBR, but we'll just see. Okay, so here's what we're looking like. Let's see. It's in there kind of tight. Okay, so this is a nonfiction book. It is upside down, sorry. This is Wintering, The Power of Rest and Retreat in Difficult Times by Catherine May. And I am actually very excited to read this one. I've heard really good things about it. So this is what we're going to be reading in this vlog. It is nonfiction. It's kind of self-help-ish. It says, an intimate revelatory book exploring the ways we can care for and repair ourselves when life knocks us down. So yeah, that's what we're going to read in this vlog. That was different than what I was expecting, but I've done 2 fiction books, so I guess it is time for a nonfiction. So I will come back and chat with you once I am officially starting reading this. It's going to be a few weeks because it is still actually February, but again, I wanted to unwrap it to see if I might be able to fit it into my wheel of TBR. So yeah, I will see you when I officially start reading this in a couple of weeks. Hello all, happy Monday. I have started reading Wintering. You saw some footage of me creating my annotations for this. This is a nonfiction book. It's basically like a memoir. The author, Catherine May, went through a health crisis. I don't really know what you want to call it. We're not quite sure what it is yet in the book, so I don't want to like name it something that it's not. But basically this is about her having to step back from her everyday life and just learn how to take things a little bit more easy, take care of herself a little bit more as she's dealing with this illness. So like the subtitle is The Power of Rest and Retreat in Difficult Times. And so the first 2 chapters, this is divided into months, so I've read September and October. The first 2 chapters are really her coming to terms with the fact that she's not able to do the same things that she once used to be able to do, and kind of the impact that that's having on her personal life, her work life, all of that kind of stuff. So that was kind of the first 2 chapters, but I did do some annotations. They don't show up very well on camera, but you can kind of see the tabs. So I'm using like a note-taking strategy that we used to have to do when we would read articles for work. So I have triangle, which is something that is a good point. Technically, it's like the main point of the article or something, but I changed it a little bit. So something that's a good point is my green tab, the triangle. My blue tab is square, so something that squares with my thinking or something that I agree with. My purple is a circle, something I want to circle back to and kind of revisit. And then my pink is a heart, which is something that I loved. So quotes that I just thought were kind of impactful. So that's how I'm going through it. I do have a fair number of tabs at this point. I am not a huge annotator by any sense of the imagination. I did do a vlog last year where I annotated A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, so I'll link that up above if you want to go back and watch that. That was kind of a haphazard annotation. I didn't even make out the key. So yeah, I wanted to do a little bit better with this one. I feel like this could be a book that if it impacts me the way I'm expecting it to, I could see myself kind of revisiting. So that's why I'm kind of doing the annotations with this one. But anyway, my plan is to do a month per day. So today I am going to read November. That will put me on page 88. So it's about 20-ish pages from where I stopped yesterday. And I'm just going to go through and tackle 1 month at a time with the goal of finishing up on Saturday, so this vlog can go up on Sunday. But that is kind of the little update on this. I am enjoying this so far. There have been some quotes that I've enjoyed, some things that have kind of made me think, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the next chapter has in store. So I will most likely talk with you again tomorrow with an update, but for now I'm gonna stop talking and do some reading. Hello all, happy Tuesday. Time for another reading update. I did read the chapter entitled November last night. So right now I am on page 91, right here. And I did have some things about this that I enjoyed. Now in this month, I mentioned previously she was dealing with like a health issue. She finds out what that is in this chapter. And now she's basically trying to figure out how to navigate it. So there were a few quotes. She is big on talking about winter as like the season. And she has a lot of like descriptions of it. So one of them was, winter is a quiet house in lamplight, a spin in the garden to see bright stars on a clear night, the roar of the wood-burning stove, and the accompanying smell of charred wood. It is warming the teapot and making cups of bitter cocoa. It is stews magicked from bones with dumplings floating like clouds. It is reading quietly and passing away the afternoon twilight watching movies. It is thick socks and the bundle of a cardigan. That last line in particular, because I'm all about the fluffy socks and cardigan sweaters in the summer. So I liked that quote right there. And then she also put, winter is a season that invites me to rest well and feel restored when I am allowed to retreat and be quietly separate, which was just interesting. So there were a few quotes like on that set of 2 pages that I quite enjoyed. She also had one here. We should sometimes be grateful for the solitude of night of a winter. They save us from displaying our worst selves to the waking world, which I thought was a nice quote. So yeah, this is going well. I don't know that this last chapter really added anything extravagant to the reading experience right now. It's definitely just kind of a meandering type memoir, for lack of a better word, and we're just kind of coming along with her as she is talking about the changes of her life and basically what winter as a season is growing to mean for her. So yeah, enjoyable so far. Nothing else to report. I am not sure if I'm going to get a section read tonight or not. I have a video to edit and it's already 6 o'clock. I just got home from the grocery store and I just was putting away groceries, washing my fruit, cutting it up, etc. So that took a chunk of time. But yeah, if I do read any more, you will hear about it tomorrow. If not, I will pick this back up tomorrow and continue. And we'll just kind of plod on through the book and this vlog. So I will see you whenever I have a reading update. Hey y'all, it has been a hot minute since I last updated you on Wintering, and that's not an exaggeration because it is currently April 6th. And I had planned to finish this in March, and it was supposed to go up as a vlog like the first week of March, which clearly did not happen. So, yeah, let's back up a little bit. So if you watched my April TBR, which I'll link up in the cards, I mentioned that I only read a total of 4 books in March. March was not a good reading month for like a variety of reasons, but namely the biggest one is that the entire week of spring break, which is when I was planning on doing like a bunch of reading to kind of get caught up, I got pink eye, and I'm still dealing with it, which is why I don't have any eye makeup on. This has been like a 2-week thing. So I came down with pink eye like the Wednesday before I was supposed to go on spring break. I missed work Thursday, Friday because it was really bad. It started in the left eye, quickly spread to the right, so I was dealing with both eyes, and it kept like flaring back up. So it would start to like taper off and be okay, and then it would flare back up, and then it would taper off, and it actually flared back up on Tuesday of this past week. So it's just been a bit of a struggle, to say the least. So that meant that I was not really feeling reading physically, which is what I'm doing with this book. But it also meant I had like a headache off and on during that entire process. So I also was not listening to audiobooks. So reading in March did not happen. I'm hoping to get back on track in April. I've actually like worked out like a time block type schedule thing to help, but I do have an update on this one because I have read 2 more sections of this book. So I am currently on February, which I'm planning on reading today, and then I will hopefully finish this tomorrow because there's March and then there's like a little epilogue, which is like late March or something. So this is the part that I'm going to read today. There are only 2 sections of it, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. So to be honest, the last couple sections really didn't speak to me as much as like the first few. So like here's what it's looking like, but I have like no tabs at all in January's section and only like 2 in December's section. So just hasn't spoken to me as much. I don't know if that's the case of like the overall struggle with reading this book or what, but just wanted to kind of point that out, that there are no tabs in January section at all. There was a quote, I believe this is from, yes, this is from December. And it said, "We should sometimes be grateful for the solitude of night, of a winter. They save us from displaying our worst selves to the waking world," which is interesting. So I kind of just liked that quote. I may have shared that already. I honestly can't remember. It's been so long since I've spoken to you about this book. And then another one that I kind of highlighted was, "Every one of us is a lit candle," which was kind of just an interesting thing. It kind of reminds me of that quote though that I really hate, where it's like the best teachers like burn themselves out to be the light for their students or whatever. So that can kind of take on some negative connotations as well. But yeah, anyway, that's where we are. I literally have nothing else to say about this book. I'm going to go ahead and read this section, which is February today. I will come back and chat with you either later today once I've read it, or tomorrow before I hopefully finish the remainder of this book and can actually get this vlog up on Thursday. That's the goal. So anyway, yes, that's where I am. Apologies for kind of falling off the face of the earth in terms of updates and videos in general, but pink eye. It's not been fun. So enough of that. I actually do have a video to film, so I need to take care of that. Then I will tackle this. As I said, you will hear from me with an update when I have one. So I will see you whenever that happens to be. Hey y'all, long time no chat. It's actually Wednesday and I'm wanting to put this vlog up tomorrow, and I realized as I was getting ready to finish editing that I never actually came back and talked to you about the book. So let's do that really quickly. So I did finish this when I said I was going to. So I finished this off on Sunday and I'm giving it 4 stars. This is more like a memoir, like when you really look at what the book is, which was not quite what I was expecting. As I mentioned, there were a couple like months worth of her story that I didn't really feel any which way about. I did have some more tabs like to close out things. They're kind of hard to see. There you go. So the ending was a little bit better. There was some interesting historical stuff that she brought up in terms of basically like a story from Aesop, the ant and the grasshopper. She kind of talked about that. She also did a whole section on like bees and the beehive, which I found really interesting. But overall, I feel like this book is one of those that it's just going to hit you differently based on like where you are in your life. And my battery's about to die. I'm going to hurry up and close this out. So I definitely think that this is one that you could reread and get more from like at different periods of time. So for me right now, at this point, I'm giving it 4 stars. I enjoyed reading it. I learned a lot of things. I did connect with a lot of her quotes, and obviously I did tab a decent amount. So yeah, I would say if you are curious at all about this, give it a read. I don't know that you will regret your decision, but for me, it is a 4 star. It's finally done. Hooray. And yeah, I'm going to close out this vlog. So I hope you enjoyed coming along with me on this very long and drawn out reading vlog. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me. And I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.